Carlos Alcaraz just won his first-round match at the Australian Open, and he's now 6 victories away from breaking Rafael Nadal's record as the youngest man to complete the career Grand Slam. At 22 years old, Alcaraz would shatter Rafa's record by 2 full years if he wins in Melbourne. The only major missing from his collection is within reach, and history is calling his name. Do you think Carlos Alcaraz will complete the career Grand Slam at the Australian Open and beat Rafael Nadal's record? Or will someone like Jannik Sinner or Novak Djokovic stop him? Drop your prediction in the comments.
You heard a lot of applause all last season. You had an incredible year, so much to celebrate, 8 titles, 2 majors, world #1, and you finished the year. You took a 9-week break between your last tournament of last year and this match tonight, and you deserved a break.
Carlos Alcaraz walked onto Rod Laver Arena on Sunday with one clear objective: start his journey toward becoming the youngest man in tennis history to complete the career Grand Slam. If he wins the Australian Open, he'll achieve that milestone at 22 years old, beating the record currently held by his mentor, Rafael Nadal, who completed the career Grand Slam at 24. Let that sink in for a second. Alcaraz trains at Nadal's academy. He's been called Nadal's spiritual successor. And now, he's on the verge of breaking one of Nadal's most impressive records while Nadal watches from retirement. The irony is almost too perfect. The student potentially surpassing the master in one of the sport's most prestigious achievements. But before we get ahead of ourselves, Alcaraz actually has to win 6 more matches. And based on his first-round performance against Australian wildcard Adam Walton, that's far from guaranteed.
Well, there might be a new service motion and a different coaching team, but it's the same result for Carlos Alcaraz.
Alcaraz won the match 6-3, 7-6, 6-2, which looks comfortable on the scorecard. But anyone who actually watched the match knows it was anything but routine. Walton, ranked outside the top 100 and playing in front of a home crowd desperate for an upset, broke Alcaraz's serve midway through the second set and gave the third seed genuine problems. Alcaraz broke back quickly and eventually closed things out in straight sets. But there were definitely moments where you wondered if an upset might actually happen. And that's become a troubling pattern for Alcaraz at Grand Slam tournaments. His first-round matches are always sketchy. The most glaring example happened at Wimbledon last year when Fabio Fognini pushed Alcaraz to 5 sets in the opening round. Fognini is a talented player but well past his prime, and Alcaraz should have handled him much more easily. Instead, he needed 5 sets to survive.
Carlos, congratulations. What were the things you were happy with tonight, and what are the things that you think you need to improve to obviously go deep again in this tournament?
Well, I think I hit the ball well. Could be better, for sure. But it's I just happy with, because I think the things that I had to do, I did it pretty well in terms of myself, or behave well, and just good mindset all the time. Like every time trying to think in positive thoughts all the time. So I think that I did it pretty well, which was one of the main goals for me coming into this match. And then in terms of level, tactics, or everything, I know that I have a lot of things to be better in the in the next round if I want to go further.
Alcaraz has this tendency to start tournaments slowly. He needs time to find his rhythm, adjust to the conditions, and get comfortable with the pressure of a 2-week Grand Slam. Once he gets rolling, he's absolutely devastating. One of the most talented players to ever pick up a racket. But those early matches? They're always a bit concerning. After beating Walton, Alcaraz was refreshingly honest about the challenge. He told Eurosport Spain, "The truth is that the first match is never simple. Opening matches at Grand Slams are never easy. It's the first of the season, my first official match of the year." He continued, "I think today was a match with ups and downs. Some very good levels, some slightly less good levels, and some difficult situations. I think for a first match, it's quite good to resolve these types of situations. But overall, it was very good."
Carlos, obviously quarterfinals are great results, and for a lot of people that is a great result, but do you have a theory on why you haven't gone deeper at this Grand Slam compared to how you've performed at the other majors?
Well, it's for me, it's, I would say, tricky. Not having or not have gone farther than quarterfinals here in Australia, because I feel like I'm playing a good tennis here in Australia. The last 2 years I've been playing a really good tennis, but in quarterfinal I just lost against Zverev and lost against Djokovic. So it's, I think, unusual players you played against in quarterfinal if you are 1 or 2 in the world. So. But it isn't an excuses. But I just really want to perform better than I did previous years. So I just feeling this year probably it is one of those years that I will be able to, or I will have the chance to go further.
That maturity is what separates Alcaraz from other young players. He's not pretending the match was easy just because he won in straight sets. He's acknowledging the difficulties, crediting himself for working through them, and recognizing that facing adversity early can actually be beneficial for the rest of the tournament. Because here's the reality. If Alcaraz is going to complete the career Grand Slam and break Nadal's record, he's going to face much tougher challenges than Adam Walton. He's going to have to beat Jannik Sinner, potentially Novak Djokovic, and several other elite players over the next 2 weeks. Let's talk about what's actually at stake here. The career Grand Slam is one of tennis's most exclusive clubs. Only 8 men in the Open era have achieved it. Rod Laver, Andre Agassi, Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic, and a few others from earlier generations. Alcaraz already has the US Open, won it twice, Wimbledon, and the French Open. That's 4 Grand Slam titles across 3 different surfaces before turning 23. The only major missing is the Australian Open, and if he wins it this year, he completes the career Grand Slam at 22 years old, 2 years younger than Nadal's record. Think about how absurd that achievement would be. Nadal is considered one of the greatest players in tennis history. His career Grand Slam took years of relentless grinding, overcoming injuries, and mastering surfaces that didn't naturally suit his game. And Alcaraz could potentially do it 2 years younger. That's not just impressive. That's historically significant on a level most people don't fully appreciate. It would put Alcaraz on a trajectory to potentially challenge even Djokovic's all-time Grand Slam record if he stays healthy and maintains this level for another decade. But there's a massive obstacle standing in his way. Jannik Sinner. Sinner won the Australian Open last year. He's the defending champion. He's playing the best, most consistent tennis on the planet right now. And he's potentially waiting for Alcaraz in the semifinals if both players advance that far. The Alcaraz-Sinner rivalry has become the defining matchup in men's tennis. They're both in their early 20s, both chasing legacy-defining achievements, both capable of absolutely dominating the sport for the next decade. The head-to-head between them is incredibly tight, with memorable matches on different surfaces and results that go back and forth. Nobody has established clear dominance. It's a genuine rivalry where either player could win on any given day depending on conditions, form, and who's executing their game plan better. Roger Federer recently weighed in on this rivalry, saying he relates more to Alcaraz's style, the creativity, variety, willingness to come to the net and hit drop shots at unexpected moments. But Federer also acknowledged that Sinner's relentless baseline consistency makes him incredibly difficult to beat, especially on hard courts like the Australian Open. If Alcaraz and Sinner meet in the semifinals, it'll be one of the most anticipated matches of the year. The defending champion trying to prove he's the superior player versus the creative genius trying to complete the career Grand Slam and make history. And let's not forget about Novak Djokovic lurking in the draw. Djokovic has won the Australian Open 10 times. He knows Melbourne Park better than anyone. And even at his age, he's still capable of beating anyone when he's playing well. Djokovic recently rated his chances against Alcaraz and Sinner, making it clear he's not just participating, he's there to win another title. So Alcaraz's path to history is far from guaranteed. He's got to navigate dangerous opponents in the early rounds, handle the pressure of chasing a record, and potentially beat both Sinner and Djokovic in the same tournament. That's an enormous challenge even for someone as talented as Alcaraz. His second-round opponent is Jannik Hanfmann, a 34-year-old German ranked 102 in the world. Hanfmann just defeated American Zachary Svajda in 4 sets, so he's coming in with confidence and match sharpness. Hanfmann isn't someone to dismiss lightly. He's an experienced tour professional who's beaten top players before. He defeated Stefanos Tsitsipas, ranked 5th in the world at the time, at the 2023 Mallorca Open. He also pushed Djokovic to 3 competitive sets at the 2025 Shanghai Masters, losing 4-6, 7-5, 6-3. So Hanfmann can play. He's not intimidated by big names, and he's got nothing to lose against Alcaraz, which makes him dangerous in a best-of-5 format where upsets can happen. Realistically, Alcaraz should win that match. Hanfmann might steal a set if everything goes right and Alcaraz has a lapse, but over 5 sets, Alcaraz's superior talent and fitness should prevail. After Hanfmann, Alcaraz would face either Corentin Moutet or Michael Jung in the 3rd round. Neither poses a serious threat, but by the 4th round, things get real. That's when the seeded players start appearing, when every opponent is legitimately dangerous, when one bad match can end your tournament and your dreams of history. The pressure of chasing the career Grand Slam is real, though. Everyone's talking about it constantly. The media asks Alcaraz about it in every press conference. Fans expect it. Social media dissects every shot he hits. That weight can either fuel greatness or create tension that leads to underperformance. So far, Alcaraz has handled pressure remarkably well. He won his first U.S. Open at 19, became the youngest world #1 in ATP history, and has continued delivering in massive moments throughout his career. But this is different. This is about legacy, history, and doing something only a handful of players have ever accomplished. The Career Grand Slam Club is incredibly exclusive for a reason. It requires mastering completely different surfaces: the slow red clay of Roland Garros, the fast grass of Wimbledon, the hard courts of the US Open and Australian Open. Most players specialize on 1 or 2 surfaces and struggle on the others. Alcaraz has already proven he can win on all surfaces. He's versatile, creative, and athletic enough to adapt his game to any condition. The Australian Open is just another hard court, and he's already won 2 US Opens on hard courts. There's no technical reason he can't win in Melbourne. But tennis isn't just about technical ability. It's about handling pressure, executing in crucial moments, staying healthy over 2 weeks, and getting a bit of luck with the draw and scheduling. All of those factors have to align for Alcaraz to make history. What makes this potential achievement even more remarkable is the timeline. Alcaraz would be completing the career Grand Slam at 22, just a few years into his professional career. Most players spend a decade or more trying to achieve this milestone. Some never get there at all despite Hall of Fame careers. Alcaraz is on pace to do it faster than anyone in history. That speaks to his extraordinary talent, but also to how the sport has evolved. Players are maturing faster, reaching their peak earlier, and achieving milestones at younger ages than previous generations. The comparison to Nadal is particularly poignant because of their connection. Alcaraz trains at Nadal's academy in Mallorca, has sought Nadal's advice throughout his career, and has been publicly mentored by the Spanish legend. Now he's on the verge of breaking one of Nadal's most impressive records. You have to believe Nadal would be proud rather than jealous. Champions like Nadal want to see the sport evolve and improve. They want the next generation to push boundaries and achieve things they never could. If Alcaraz breaks this record, it validates Nadal's belief that Alcaraz represents the future of Spanish tennis and the sport as a whole. The tennis world is watching closely. Every match Alcaraz plays over the next 2 weeks will be scrutinized, analyzed, and debated. Fans will celebrate every victory and agonize over every close set. The pressure will build with each round as history gets closer. Can Alcaraz handle it? Based on everything he's shown so far in his career, absolutely. He's mentally tough, tactically brilliant, and physically capable of beating anyone when he's playing his best tennis. The talent is undeniable. The opportunity is right in front of him. Now it's just about execution. 6 more matches, 1 title. History awaits. So there you have it. Carlos Alcaraz is 6 wins away from completing the career Grand Slam and breaking Rafael Nadal's record as the youngest man to achieve it. If you want coverage of every match on his journey and all the latest tennis drama, smash that like button and subscribe. Who wins the Australian Open? Alcaraz, Sinner, Djokovic, or a dark horse?